Oh, hello, Roo. I should notice you. Never mind that. Hello. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to start in a nice standing posture, nice and grounded through the feet. And we're just going to start super simple, noticing that connection of the feet to the ground, just shifting side to side and lifting up through the sides of the feet. And we do 2 ticks. Sleepy dog until I get the. Okay, there we go. So we're just mobilizing through those feet. We get a little bit of clinking, that's okay. And then we're going to settle back to center, remembering that tripod of the foot, big toe, little toe, heel. And we're just going to shift forward and back, pressing down through all 10 toes and then shifting to the heel. And then we're going to take it right up onto those toes, pressing down through the big toe, activating through the underside of the foot, up into the calves. And then we shift that back to the heel. And we want to be able to hit that sweet spot at the top where we can hold and then shift that back. Okay. We settle down to center, and then we're going to roll through the shoulders, glide forward, up and over, open the chest. So just freeing up everything around the rib cage, mid-back, shoulder complex, and opening through the chest. Super simple move, really effective. We're going to do 1 more of those. And then we're going to take a staggered stance. Okay, so 1 foot in front of the other. And we're going to keep both feet grounded. So the back heel is down and we are centered over the feet. Okay, so we're in the center. Now from here, we're going to move through the upper body. One thing before we move, if you feel like you're wobbling a little bit and a bit unstable in this position, you can step the foot out so you have a wider stance. Just increases stability, okay? And from there, we're going to gently tuck the tailbone under so we're not overarching through the lower back. And we're going to reach the same hand as the back leg. We're going to reach as far forward as we can. So I'm trying to keep that heel grounded, but if it does lift a little bit, that's okay. From here, I'm going to draw the elbow back. I'm opening through the hips so that front knee still is in alignment with the toes. Draw the elbow back, and then I'm just going to extend that hand back. Now, if we want a little bit more from that, we can just gently reach that hand back. Okay, we lift up, and then we go again. So we place the hips forward. We reach the hand forward. We reach. So I've got a little lift through that back heel. Think about how it feels for you. We draw the elbow back. I'm opening through the hips so the front knee has a nice alignment. And then I'm going to extend that hand back. If you want a little bit more from that, we just reach that hand back. Okay, we're going to do that once more. Hips facing forward. You reach, reach, reach. And then we're going to stand nice and tall, draw the elbow back, open through the hips, extend the hand back, and then if we want a little bit more, we reach that back. Okay, we switch to the other side. Okay, so staggered stance. Remember, take a wider foot stance if you need a bit more stability. We're trying to keep the whole foot grounded on both the front and the back leg. But if the back heel raises slightly, it's okay. Same hand as the back leg. We're reaching forward, forward, forward. Okay, from here, we stand nice and tall, draw the elbow back, that front knees in alignment, elbow back. We're going to take the hand and reach that back, and then if we want a little bit more, we just reach back with that hand. And then we draw it back to center, straight with the hips, and we reach forward, 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 forward. We draw it up, elbow back, we reach the hand back, and if we want a little bit more, we'll reach through there. Good. And we're going to do that once more. Hips facing forward, glide the hand forward, forward, forward. We draw the elbow back, open through the hips, extend the hand back and reach all the way back. Okay, we'll bring it back to center. We narrow the stance, and we're just going to take a nice narrow stance, glide the hands down to the knees, and from here, we're going to do the same movement with the spine as we do with cat-cow. So hands resting just above the knees on the thighs, and we're going to draw the belly button back towards the spine, tuck the tailbone under and round to the shoulders, and then we go into the cow. So we take the tailbone back, lift through the chest. Okay, so we've got an opposite kind of movement with the spine. We've got that nice extension. Okay, we come into a flexed spine, so belly button back towards the spine, tailbone under, bridge through those shoulders, and then we go the opposite way. If this doesn't feel very comfortable, you can take it into the 4-point kneeling cow. Just that we mix it up a little bit. We're going to do that once more. Tailbone under, bridge through the shoulders, belly button back towards the spine. And then we lower that down. Belly button, tailbone back, lift through the chest. Amazing. We lift up and out of that. And then in that standing position, we're going to take our arms out to the side, palms facing the sky, and we're going to just set those shoulders in a nice position. So we can give them a little wiggle, set them in a lovely position where they're hugging the rib cage. Okay, and from here, very gently, we're just going to reach from side to side. Okay, so fluency of movement. Okay, we should feel a little bit of work going on around the pelvis and lower back. Up into that connection to the rib cage and mid back. Sit nice and fluent. We're not super slow, so there's a nice energy about the movement. If there's any tightness through the abdominals, we might get a little bit of a kind of feeling of work and release through there. So we're just looking at that nice kind of flow of movement in that sideways direction. Okay, we settle back to center, and from here we're going to take ourselves down onto the mat into a seated position. Okay, so as efficiently as we can, we draw ourselves down into a seated position. We've got those legs out in front of us. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is just place the hands flat down behind us. Draw the shoulder blades down towards the back pockets, and we're opening through the chest. Just making sure that we're not gripping through the hips. We've got that nice length through the spine. A couple of nice big full breaths in this position. And then we bring ourselves into a nice, tall, seated position. So a similar movement now to what we did with the arms. Okay, and we're going to take both hands out in front. Okay, so this is where it differs a little bit. Palms together. We maintain length through the spine. Okay, nice connection of the palms together. We should feel good through the shoulders. From here, one hand is going to move. So for me, it's my right hand. It's going to glide forward. So it glides past the left hand, it glides forward. Then I'm going to draw that elbow back. Okay, and then if you would like to, you can extend the arm out, but it's not necessary. If this feels good and you want to keep it here, you can. Okay, we go again. We glide the right hand forward. We reach, 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 reach. Sit nice and tall. Draw the elbow back. Okay, and then if we want to, we can extend that hand out. So when I'm doing this, I do get some shift through the legs. Okay, so actually that right heel is drawn closer towards me, yeah? And it's just that's a natural part of it, that's okay. And it will recenter as we draw it back. We're going to do one more. So we glide the right hand forward. Sit nice and tall. Elbow back. We extend the arm out. Okay, brilliant. We draw it back in. Just place his hands down behind us, let go of the hips. Open through the chest. Just spend a moment here before we take it onto the other side. Okay. Sit it nice and tall. This time the left hand is reaching forward. So we place the palms together, lengthen through the spine, set the shoulders in a nice position. We reach forward with the left hand. Reach, 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 reach. We draw the elbow back. And if we would like to, we can extend the arm back. Okay, we bring it in. We go again. We reach, 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 reach. Draw the elbow back. Extend the arm out if we would like to. Okay, once more. Reach, 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 reach. Draw the elbow back. Extend the hand back. We bring it back to center. We're going to take hold of the hamstrings, roll back onto, so we'll lay on our back. We're just going to hug those knees to the chest, give them a little wiggle, massage that lower back into the mat. Oh dear. Taking. Amazing. Okay. From here, we're going to place the feet down, arms out to the side, and we're just going to start super simple, lowering those knees over to one side. Gentle engagement through the core center to draw the knees back to center. Okay, so we take it over and we roll it back. So we've got that fluent roll through the pelvis. We draw it over, we roll it back. Okay, so if we want a little bit more from this, we're going to take it over to the side and then we're going to extend the top leg. So we're straightening through the top leg. We bring that foot back into center and then we draw it back. Okay, so we take it over to the side. We extend the top leg. We bend it back and we bring it back to center. So that just acts as a little bit of overpressure. So we assist the body into slightly more rotation. And take it over. Amazing. We're going to do one more on each side. Extend through that leg. Bring it in. Lift it back to center. One final repetition. Bring it in. Back to center. Hook those knees to the chest again. And we're going to take hold of either the lower leg, feet or the ankles, and just encourage those knees outside. Ideally, we want to be able to ground through the pelvis and through the upper back and head. So if you find yourself in a curled up position, that's okay, but the goal is to be able to relax the pelvis down and the head and shoulders. Amazing. So from here, we're going to take ourselves over onto our side. You can rest your head on a cushion if you want the more neutral neck position. We're going to untuck the underneath arm. Okay. This time it's a little bit different to what we would normally do. We're going to kind of do the one where we open, what I call opening the book. Now there's two ways of doing this. If you want to be a little bit lighter on the body, you keep the hips stacked and both knees bent, and it gives the pelvis a little bit of leeway to shift, create a comfortable position. If you want more from it, we're going to straighten the bottom, the underneath leg, and we keep the top knee bent. Now, to kind of bridge the gap, you could put a cushion underneath the top knee, which will neutralize the pelvis a little bit more. If not, we just relax that top leg down to the ground, okay? And that anchors the pelvis. Now from here, we take the top arm and we're gonna place it on top of the palm of the bottom hand, okay? So palms together. And then from here, we're just gonna lift the hand to the sky and open the book. So we're rotating back and we bring it back. Palms together, okay? If you want to add a little bit more, and you can add that reach forward, okay? So as the palms together, you can reach the top hand past the bottom hand and reach forward. But we're still gonna open the book, okay? So we're rotating back. Now there's still a little bit of leeway with this. I can feel my top knee lifting off the ground a little bit. That's okay. We draw it forward. We open the book. And then we close the book. We're going to do one more repetition. Open the book. We close the book. And then we're going to lift up and over. And we're going to take that onto the other side. Okay, so you can rest your head on a block or a cushion or on the ground. The underneath shoulder is untucked, knees bent, hips stacked. Alternatively, you can straighten the bottom leg and keep the top knee bent and relax that top knee down. Okay, the top hand is going to meet the bottom hand, the palms together, and then we can do one of two things. We can just lift that straight up and open the book, and then we close the book, or we can do a little reach forward first with the top hand, and then we can open the book. We close the book. So we either just open and close, or we reach forward first and then open the book. Okay, we're going to do one more. Okay, from here we're bringing it into a seated position. We're going to cross the legs. Okay, so grounded through the seat bones. With the legs crossed, we should be able to relax, or the goal is to be able to relax those legs down and for it to be a comfortable position. If not, you can use the hands to assist you to just hold this position. We're going to relax the hands down onto the legs, relax through the shoulders. And first of all, we're just going to look over to one shoulder and then to the other. So we're rotating through the neck. It gives us an opportunity to kind of see what our range of movement is like and to see if we're balanced on both sides. Yeah, if it feels similar or if there's any tightness or restriction. So we've got that nice rotation. And then we draw back to center. We take the chin down to the chest, creating length through the back of the neck. Then we roll the ear to the shoulder. We draw back to center and we take the ear to the opposite shoulder. And roll it back. Over we go. Okay. And as the ear reaches the shoulder, we take a glance to the sky. We just place a bit more emphasis through the front of the neck. So ear to the shoulder, glance to the sky, chin to the chest. If we want a little bit more from this, we can create a nice big full circle. So we rotate all the way around. So ear to the shoulder, glance to the sky, look to the sky, roll it round. And change direction. If you know your neck's a little bit sensitive, just stick with the semicircle, or you can even take it back to the rotations, whatever works for you. There should be no pain or discomfort if you do this. We're looking at really kind of mobilizing through the neck. And then we're going to lift up and relax back to center. We float the fingertips to the sky. We're going to scissor the arms. The front hand comes across onto the outside of the opposite leg. The other fingertips come down behind us and glance over to the back shoulder. And then we draw it back to center. Fingertips to the sky. We go the opposite way this time, so we scissor the other way. The front hand comes across the body onto the outside of the opposite leg. The back hand comes down. We glance over to the back shoulder. Use the hands with a little bit of overpressure. We draw back to center. We take the legs out in front of us. Hands down behind us flat. Shoulder blades down towards the back pockets. So we're really opening through the chest. Make sure we're not gripping through the hips. A couple of nice big full breaths to finish the session. We are done. That's good.